What is up, YouTube? It is your boy Fredo with Brevity Sports coming at you. Big Z, say hi to the people.
What's up, people? Welcome back to another great week, another great episode. We're excited to come at you guys. It is cold today. It feels great. I love it. Fall is in the air.
Isn't it nice to like just be like a little bit cold? Like
Oh,
just
it
like a
is.
little bit, like
Because
oh
you can control it.
yes,
You can put on extra layers and then take them
yes.
off if you get a little warm. But when it's too hot, it's just like you
You can do
can't take off your
nothing.
skin,
You
you know?
can do
I guess you could,
nothing.
but it would not be,
It would
it
not
wouldn't
be
be
good.
good.
It would not be good. You'd
Be a
get in a
terrible
lot of
time.
trouble. You get in a
Yes.
lot of trouble, and rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess
Big
so.
Z, dude, I gotta tell you before we
Tell
move
me.
on into sports. I know this is not what we do, right? This isn't a fitness podcast, but I am so sore, but it's like oddly satisfying. Like I had a really
Yes.
good workout this morning, and I'm sore, but like I know I got after it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's two different types of sores. So like there's the workout sore where you feel good. You feel good about yourself. You're proud. You know that
Yes.
you just tore up some muscles and your muscles rebuilding. And then there's the other sore, like when you have to take some big boxes and you're moving and you're just like, and like the next day you're sore and you're like, I need to work out more. My body isn't, it's not up to par. Like I'm old. Like what's going
Right.
on? And so that's the sore that you want for sure. The
Right.
workout
Yep.
I did work in, I put work in and I'm a beast because you're a beast for sure.
Well, I know you're more like we're kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum. Like you're like a cardio guy, a little bit more than I am.
Yeah, so I do more cardio. I do cardio first when I go to the gym, and then I do a lot more. I don't do like light lifting, but I'll do more reps than like
Okay.
the heavier reps and like less of them. I rarely like will max out. I just want to get I want to be in shape because like I used to play basketball in high school, and like you just have to be light on your feet, and so like I kind of like I just want to do that. I feel like that creates more,
Yeah.
boost in my step. And so that's why I do that. And especially like when you're working out, like when I go to the gym, when you're doing it alone, also like I don't want to max out either because like
Yeah.
there's not too many people. There's like everyone else is in their own zone. And I don't want to like freaking drop a freaking bar on my chest and just crush myself and that's it. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. But it gets the work done. I feel good. I love when I get off the treadmill. That's like the best feeling to me. Like during it, it's like terrible every single time. But when I get off, I'm like, yes, I feel great.
I feel fantastic. See, yeah, I
Fantastic.
don't. I do cardio like I do a cardio workout like once a week, and I'll do
Yeah.
like on like a Saturday. I'll do like kind of a hit workout or like a CrossFit quasi workout. Like not necessarily their movements, but just like just like getting the heart rate up with like a little bit of run, like mixing it in.
Yeah.
But then yeah, the rest of the days. I mean, I usually take like one or two rest days. I'm like doing some traditional lifting, time under tension, all that stuff. But man, I feel good. Like it hurts. Like it's sort of like today I did chest and tricep, and my
Mm.
triceps are like, dude, they are
They're
torn
on
up, dude.
fire, dude.
Dude, when I pick up my cup, I'm like, oof, this is oof.
Dang, dude. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not.
I used to do this one workout. I was going with a buddy. This is like years ago in college. But it was just like quick with the weights.
Yeah.
And he was a wrestler. And so like he
Oh,
wasn't like
okay.
a big, like, big max guy. But so like we'd start with like 4 10s like on the bar. And you should just do 10 reps, boom, boom, as fast as you can. And then the guy behind you, he'll run off, take a 10 off in each side, and then you have to do 10, 10, 10, 10.
Oh yeah, pyramids.
And then
Yeah.
yeah. And by the like when you're doing the bar at
Oh
the end,
yeah.
you would think, oh yeah, this is easy, but you're struggling to get the 45-pound bar up, and then you feel like a freaking fool, and everyone's like looking at you like, what's wrong with that guy? But it's hard, man.
No, dude, I'll tell you what, dude. Like, anybody thinks like, oh, just slapping weight on. Like, I can curl pretty heavy weights if I'd like to.
Yes.
But my form is not going to be nearly as crisp. Like,
Right.
dude, if I
Right.
like, there's certain curl workouts where I'll grab some 30s, dude, and I'll just
Yeah.
like really nice and slow,
Yeah.
just so nice and just slow and controlled. Especially Jason, the showman showed me this one where like you kind of come up like this, and then you turn it and you come like straight in, and it just burns you out, dude. Just burns you out, bro. Just as
I
slow as
love
you can.
and it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels
That's
great.
the noise I make. Some people make like really like, the noise I make is yeah, like sort of
I make
like
faces. because like there's the mirror there, and I'm just like,
Like people are like, is he working out? Is he pooping? Like we can't tell.
yeah,
We don't
I
know.
know, yeah, yeah,
Haley just standing behind you, like, what is he? Oh God.
yeah, bro. It's funny. I sometimes I gross myself out by the faces I make. I'm like, yeah, sorry,
I'm so sorry.
my
The
bad.
important thing is though, listeners out there, is just get. You know what? It's hard, right? Like, dude, I have 3 kids.
You
You
gotta
have
find time. Like, yeah, it's even if it's 20 minutes a
just
day
do it.
or an
Yep,
hour every 2 days, like whatever it is, yeah, just do it. Like
just do it.
I found like you have to sacrifice something else. Like
Yep.
I sacrifice sleep sometimes for like I'll get up early, or like I'll go like if I want to take my lunch, I'll go on my lunch. I'll take like a two
Yeah.
hour lunch, or like it is what it's like. Sometimes you just whatever it is, whether it's
Yeah.
getting fit or if it's a hobby or something. Like you got to have that time to yourself, and you got to get it done. You got to be intentional about it. So that's our lesson of the day for you guys.
Yeah. Be a little selfish with it.
We're,
You know, like D knows, like,
yeah,
dude, from 5 a.m. to like 6:30. I don't do things for me. Like I really like
yeah,
I
right,
coach and like I like some people are like, oh, do you golf? Like you have this like epic hobby. And like I'll hang out with the boys every once in a while.
right,
And like if I can golf, I haven't golfed in like 6 months.
yeah.
Like that's not to say I'm unhappy. I don't want anybody like I watch a ton of baseball. Do not feel bad for me. I watch
Oh yeah.
so much sports. It's
Well, your kids
insane.
are at that age now
And
too,
my
which is
kid, right.
nice.
And my kids
Yes,
are at the age
it
that
wasn't like that
like
even a
Jake
few
looks
years
at me
ago.
and it's
Yeah,
like, Dad, let's play Halo. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, bummer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in my,
terrible
and
line.
believe me, anybody listening to this, like, this is not a woe is me thing, but like, she knows that, like, that is my thing, right? Like, that is my,
Yeah,
like, that
yeah,
that morning time, that hour and a half, like, just give me that little portion of my day. You know,
but
sometimes it's an hour,
and
but
that's
it's
okay.
it's better than
Yeah,
nothing. And that's what I told, same thing I told her. It was like, hey, if you get out there and you get on the bike for 20 minutes, you did it. Like, you did something.
exactly.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And like
you feel
whoever's out
good.
there, you're doing it. I know you're doing it. And if you go for a walk at your lunch, you're doing it. Just do it. Just get
Exactly.
out, get active, smell the flowers. It's good for your mental. It's good for everything. So good for you.
Gosh, so inspiring, man.
You know, I just want to encourage the people. You know, I feel like we can oftentimes just miss. You know, we're in traffic and like that building that used to drive by, like it just like the first time you saw it, I was like, God, what gorgeous architecture. And then as you drive past
There it
it
is.
time
Yeah,
and time again, it's like no, like it's just different. You know what I mean?
right.
Enjoy those. Like every once in a while, I stop. Like I post it on like my pool page, right, for work. Clear Vision Pools. Shout outs. I'll like post like a picture of like like my little pool, like the sun coming up, and I'm like, man, not many people get to do this. Like not many. Like, is it disgusting at times? Yeah, but not many people get to do this. I gotta enjoy
Right.
it. You know, enjoy it, Big Z.
I mean, hey man, yesterday like it was a tale of two big Z's yesterday. Like
The
I was
tail
in
too.
LA traffic in the morning, and I was really mad because they closed off the 710 left lanes for no reason. And it was like 2 hours of traffic in the morning. And it was the same thing at like 4 or 5 o'clock. And but on the way back, I did not complain. And traffic is like my biggest pet peeve. I'm a very easygoing guy, as you know. But I get mad in traffic. Like I get so mad. But yesterday going home, I was like, you know what? It is what it is. Like I'm just gonna go with the flow. And there was no negative bone or word coming out of my body yesterday
It's
or
impressive.
in the afternoon. And I just enjoyed it. And it didn't seem like it was 2 hours. It was 2 hours, but it did not seem like it. And I was just enjoying
See,
it, listening to some sports radio, just doing whatever. It's like it was cool. It's just me and
mindset.
myself and my Carrie, my car. Carrie. Carrie
There you
Fisher.
go.
That's what she's named after.
Boom.
There's the Easter egg. We'll quiz
Mind
you guys one day.
mindset. That's the mindset. Let's do it. Let's
Boom.
start the podcast, Big Z. Let's get it rolling for all the audio only people.
Let's do it.
Look, there's us. Brevity Sports. Give us a follow. Hit subscribe.
Boom, boom.
is that is that the
we
song?
there you go, guys.
One day we're gonna be really good at this, and we're gonna look back at this and laugh.
We were there's our customized song. There we go. We made it
the
into our own
the
for you
boom
guys.
boom boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's it. That's the
That's Big Z's version. Get you. Welcome
Oh.
back. Boom, boom, boom.
One day we're gonna have a moment. We're gonna go through our YouTube and like just snip embarrassing moments. I'm
Oh,
just
it's gonna
like
be great. And we're gonna have like a
about
2 hour video of just there's so many of them.
there's
There's so many
so
of
many.
them.
All right, guys, we're starting a lot. Oh, wait.
And like for the YouTube, like how we
Oh.
realized like we should probably greet the YouTube before like we just start like we're just talking. Like they don't know like what like did they mean to push go live? Like did they mean to push start?
We didn't. Half the time we didn't. We didn't understand that when Big Z pushed the button, it took a second. And so even if we did say hi, you missed it. We didn't realize there's any sort of delay for like a long time. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, we're learning. We're learning. We've come a far way. We've come a long way,
we're
I
doing
think.
great. We're doing great,
Yeah.
especially you. I'm impressed by your videos, man. Impressive.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously though, like, I used to hate I still don't like social media, but like I've kind of embraced it. Like, because
You
it
have
is a
to.
tool.
You have
It is
to.
a tool to
This is
help you
Brevity
succeed.
Sports social media.
There we go.
There we
We
go.
could have our own social media school maybe by the end of this. No,
School for people who hate social media.
that's right, but have to be successful at it.
Podcast for the haters. Boom.
Podcast for the social media haters. Podcast 101 for the social media haters. Boom. Not brevity title at all. Just an elaborate
This has gone off
words
the
on
rails.
words on
This has
words.
gone way off the rails.
Add it to the reel. What's up, bro? What are
Oh,
you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm Thursday night football, man. What a trash game that was, in my opinion. It really was.
Wait. Did you play the song? Because I never heard the song.
Yes, I played it.
I never heard it. So it's going to be really interesting to go back and listen. What's
It's
up,
probably not there then if you didn't hear it.
It doesn't matter. What's up, Brevity Sports listeners? Happy Friday. If you're listening to this on Friday, that's when this is coming out. This is our intro for night.
They're
And
just gonna get the boom boom.
it was honestly Big Z's boom, boom, boom. And Big Z, if you don't start it at boom, 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 I'm out. I'm out. I need you to start it at boom, boom, boom. That's when this podcast starts. We love you. We're here. What's up? Big Z, say hi to the people.
It was on my that's the boom boom was to the song.
No, all we
Like,
heard, all the people heard in my maybe in the podcast version it'll be, but I did not hear it. I promise you I did
no,
not hear
you're
the
right. I
song.
probably didn't push share sound. Um,
Yeah.
I'm good, man. I'm good. No, I'm bummed, but man, I'm good though. I'm
Good.
happy. I'm
Good.
mad. I'm mad I got the game, if you didn't notice. But other than that, I'm good. I'm good. Looking forward to this weekend. It's my birthday this weekend, so I feel a little old, but I still don't know what I'm gonna do. Haley keeps asking me, and I'm like, I don't know. I have no clue.
You gotta figure something out, dude. You gotta do
I
something. Just go to
I
dinner.
Uh,
That's
well,
my
yeah,
favorite thing to
well,
do.
we're gonna go probably like lunch on Sunday, and then like we're gonna go in-laws Sunday night for dinner. My favorite meal of the year is, the Pioneer Woman. You ever heard of her?
No.
So she like makes like Southern food. She's a great cook, and
Okay.
she has like cookbooks and everything. Anyway, one of her recipes is shells and peas. No, shells and cheese with bacon and peas, and
Wow.
it's mac and cheese with like Velveeta and like cheddar
Oh,
cheese
okay. I'm in.
and everything. And Haley's mom makes it for me every single year on my birthday because I just love it. It's so good, and there's bacon in it. It's like terribly unhealthy for you.
Perfect.
So I just have it once a year. And she's like, "Oh, this is the easiest birthday meal I ever have to make." It's like for a little kid. I'm like, yes, because my dessert is dirt pudding. Have you ever heard of dirt pudding?
Yes. Yes, I have. I
Yes,
have
it's
heard of
just
that one.
pudding, like chocolate pudding and crushed Oreos
Yep.
with the gummy worms inside. And
Delicious.
it's a 10-year-old's birthday party every single year, even no matter how old I get. So I'm looking forward to that Sunday night. But yeah, probably gonna go to lunch with Haley during the day. She's gonna make me something she said for breakfast that she doesn't want to tell me yet. I'm a big breakfast guy, big savory breakfast guy, so I'm looking forward to that. Just it's different, when you have a family, kids, like you don't really think about it, like, oh yeah, it's my birthday. It's just different. So, but
Yeah.
it's
No.
definitely gonna be enjoyable. I get to people will call me, I'm sure, and all that. But Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. See what surprises meet me this
Shout
weekend.
outs to all the dads. When you ask us, like, hey, what do you want? We don't know. We really
I have
don't
no
know. And
clue.
we'd
I have
love to give
no clue.
you idea. But the reality of the situation is if I
Haley
really
gets so
want
mad at
something,
me.
if I
Yeah,
really want something during the year, I buy it. Like I
exactly.
get it. You know, I want that Dodger jersey. It's mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Yeah, that's what Haley's dad does. That's what my dad's done. But she's so like, what do you want? I don't know, babe. I truly don't. And she gets so mad.
I just give like the classic answer. Can't get me in trouble. I'm just like, she's like, what do you want? I was like, I want to spend the day with you. That's what I want. That you are my present. Let's go eat and just hang out
It's a good
and
one.
just have a good time. And she's like, oh, I'm like, sweet. I'm off the
That's
hook
so
because the
sweet.
reality is I bought myself the game I wanted 2 months ago. So I did
Right.
it. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I listen. Here's what's going on with me. My decorations are down. Frank Sinatra has been playing since the first. I am in full Christmas mode, Big Z. I am that guy. Okay, and I just want to double down on this because I feel like
Did we
people
do
aren't
this
listening.
last year? Did we
I
argue
know
about this last year?
we did.
Probably.
We argued about this last year. And we argued about it last week, but I will never change my mind. And let me tell you something, Big Z. I cleaned some messed up pools this week. Messed up. I mean, the
Doesn't
winds
matter.
wiped them out. Didn't matter because Frank Sinatra was in my ear telling me the bells were jingling and they were
They're
jingling
not.
for Christmas. And I
They're
love it.
they're not jingling yet. It's not allowed,
Oh,
dude.
it's like you and the Grinch hanging out in your cave right now.
Bro,
That's where
I'm
you're
not
at.
a Grinch. I
I'm
am
down at
one of
Whoville.
the jolliest men
I'm down at
humans
Whoville.
on this planet.
Uh,
But no, you can't. No, it should be. If I was ever elected president, it would be an executive order. The first thing I do the day I am inaugurated into office, no Christmas until Black Friday. Like nothing. You cannot play on the radio. No one can listen to it. Like I would have full control over everyone's devices until after Christmas or after Thanksgiving because
Big
it's
Z
not allowed.
is big government. We just found that out. There it is. That's
No,
the
I'm
intro.
not. That's the only big government thing I am.
Let's
Christmas. When it comes to Christmas.
Big Z's hanging out in traffic with the Grinch while I'm hanging out with Susie and we're riding our sleds through Main Street, throwing snowballs, just enjoying life. But I'll tell you what I did enjoy, Big Z. Tonight, NFL Thursday Night Football. Listen, if you're a Manders fan, let me tell you why this is a bummer for you. Because we just saw tonight, you're still the Commanders. And the worst part was, I was
Yeah.
listening to the radio. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening to. Actually, no, it was Amazon Prime, right? It was on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
I was listening through my phone. And one of the things that really upset me at the end of this game was that at prime time, like, yeah, this game really what it's about is they're putting weapons around this guy. That's really what they're trying to figure this out for next year. Like, what are you talking
No.
about? You
No.
have Zach Ertz, who's having a great year. You have Robinson Jr., who's having a great year. You have Eckler, who's only getting older. You have
McLaurin.
McLaurin. Thank you so much. That's the guy I was looking for. You have McLaurin. You have your ace receiver, and then you have two decent receivers behind him.
Right.
Like, look, Jaden Daniels is good enough. This is your window. Like,
Right.
why are you running the ball with 3 minutes left, down 2 possessions?
I was beyond myself when I saw them run not one time, two times when they're within the 20. Like the Eagles 20
and this
under
isn't
3 minutes. Like, and they let the clock go down just to 2 minutes, like to the 2 minute warning. Like no timeouts were called. And I was just like, what is going, like, did you just bag the game? Like it's done? Like what is this? Like I'm used to the Dan Quinn, the aggressive, like I'm just gonna throw it down the field.
right.
And McLaurin only had two targets. Two
Right.
targets. He's your best receiver. They didn't even try to hit him down the field all night. And like he's your big play guy.
Right.
Like it was beyond me. Like it was very ugly tonight. The way that the way look, and I don't even put it on Jaden Daniels. I put it on the play calling, the coaching staff. That's on
100%.
Yeah.
100%, dude. And I'm not going to say, look, the Eagles clearly did something very effective against McLaurin. But like after the interception, I was like, no, we're not going to try to throw the ball down the field again. Like, show your quarterback, like, hey, dude, we still believe in you. Like you made a mistake. It's okay. Let's move on. Watching the end of that game, it was maddening. It's like, are you not supposed to be competing?
Right. And
You know what I mean?
you're on the road. Like this is like, if you're going to fail on the road, but like, don't just like mail it in and like, whatever, we just give up. Like, here you go, Eckler, here you go, Robinson. And I'm just going to do check downs. That's not your game. That's not how they've won 7 games this year. Like go out with a bang, like throw three more picks. It doesn't matter. Like you're probably going to lose this game, but like at least try.
Right. And
they lost by 8.
if you are thinking about running the ball, Like exactly, you just said checkdowns were working all night. You have two running backs,
Right.
Robinson and Eckler are not slouches out of the backfield. They both
Right.
have great hands. Throw the ball to them in the flats so at least they can get out of bounds. Like, why are you
Exactly.
running up the middle? And I hate to be the guy to bring this up, but Commanders fans, you got to realize, like, look, we told you that Jaden Daniels was the best rookie quarterback coming out of this class. We told you that. We told you it multiple times. We've been saying it for a year. We still stand by that. Here's the reality situation, though. You are 0-4 against teams above 500. That's a
Right.
problem,
Yeah.
right? If you are looking for this team to be a playoff contender, the Eagles are running away with this division. And this is the year. The Cowboys
Yeah,
are
they are.
awful. The
Yeah,
Giants are awful.
exactly.
This is your year. This is your chance. Who knows who they're going to get next year? What if the Cowboys sign this kid out of Boise? Like, what if that does happen? Right? That's like the rumor. Real like he just came out. Was like, oh, the Cowboys are my team.
Yeah.
Gentry or whatever his name is. You know, he looks amazing. He looks fantastic. I'm not saying that he's going to turn around, but again,
Right.
if you're the Commanders, don't look to next year.
Right.
Try to win
but
right
look,
now.
look at their losses besides tonight. Steelers, they lost last week 28-27. Close game. Ravens 30-23 in Baltimore. They lost by a touchdown. And then they got smoked by the Buccaneers the first week, but like that's the first week, right? It's like
Right.
this is it's what I'm trying to say. This is a really competitive team. This is a great team. And yet you played this bad tonight, and yet you only lost by 8 in Philadelphia on the road. And that's probably one of the toughest places to play. And you played that badly. Like, stop, just like don't you play to your strengths is what we're saying. Like, you have the team now, and you made a great point. The division, besides the Eagles, it's down this year. The
Right.
Giants suck. The Cowboys are done. Like, this is your opportunity to go get it. And
Yep.
you gave it to the Eagles tonight. You gave the division.
If they win tonight, the Eagles are 7-3, right?
Right. Yep.
And they're what? They're 8-3,
Yes.
right? So they had a chance tonight to take back the lead of the division, and they blew it. That's the reality situation. And look, by the way, I'm not saying the Eagles played the perfect game. If you're the Eagles, stop. You got to give Saquon, like, he carried it 26 times. You started figuring out in the second half. Thank the good Lord. Because in the first half, you guys looked abysmal. And what was it? Saquon wasn't getting the ball. That's what happened. And in the second half, you're like, oh, you know what? This guy's pretty good. Let's get the ball in his hand. Like, that is your game plan. Okay. Yeah. Get Saquon the ball. The push, I will say the push is working still. It looks a little bit less effective without Kelsey. I'm going to say that.
Yeah. But when it's just, when you just need 1 yard, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts, if you look at the stat line, 18-28, 221 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. So he didn't turn the ball over, but
a couple ugly passes too. Real bad.
He did. Like, he just doesn't look at, like, Saquon obviously is the guy. 146 yards. He iced the game. He had 2 touchdowns in 20 seconds. Like, he is the best player on your team. You went out in the offseason. You paid Saquon Barkley the top running back money. Utilize him.
Right.
And the cool thing about him, you said you were telling me before the show, he's okay with the tush push. Like, he's okay with letting his other teammates score. He doesn't care. But like, this is why you got him. Like, he was the guy to get you over the hump because something wasn't right in that locker room. Something wasn't right on the field. Like, you got to utilize him. He's so talented. He can pass. He can run routes. He can run. Like, he can do so many other things.
Yep.
You can't shy away from him. And when you went to him, that's when you iced the game. So you got to utilize him more.
You just get the ball in his hands, man. This is your playmaker. This is your guy. Yep. He did finish with a great line. You know, it's easy to say, like, hey guys, he had 26 carries, relax. But like, if you watch the game in the first half, it didn't look like, we're obviously not bringing this down to
pretty bad,
but it did not look good. It did not look like they were forcing him the ball. They were trying to get the ball out to like Dotson. Like, who's trying to hit Dotson in the flat instead of Saquon Barkley? What are you doing? Like, come on, son. Get your guy the ball. He's going to break one out. Kenneth Gainwell, get him the ball a little bit more. I'm not going to lie. Maybe a little bit more than 4 carries, just to help out Saquon. If you're worried about it, you have another option there. But regardless, I like it. Eagles win. Commanders, man, I believe in you guys. Come on, figure it out. All right, big winners. Big Z, listen.
Tell me.
There's some big James. Shout out to James. Big winners. Lions overcome their biggest weakness. Chiefs find a way. Steal Magnolias, Big Z. Give them their flowers. And are the Cards finding their wings? Let's jump right in here, Big Z. I'm not backing down on this comment. Okay, this game was an exact thing. This was an exact moment for me. This was huge for the Lions because I've sat here and I've said, look, I don't think Goff is necessarily that guy to win you the big game in the big moments. And against a very good Texans team, I mean, he folded up shop. I mean, 5 interceptions,
I know.
looked awful, and they still found a way to win despite him. There's like, you know what, Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery, like, we don't technically need a quarterback. You just give us the rock, we're going to be fine. And they still find a way to win this game, Big Z. Impressive. Impressive.
Yeah, I mean, just I think the defense, man, like you have to give all the credit to the defense.
Yeah.
Like Goff gave it away 5 times. I don't know. Has there ever been a quarterback who's thrown 5 interceptions and actually won a game? I don't know. Like we need to look that up. I know there's some stats going out there flying around on the X. But like we could confirm that maybe if we had a stat guy, we could. But anyways,
Right.
like for the defense to get off the field, like whether it's 3 and out, the punt, like they shut down CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud played like crap again, and then their quarterback gave it away 5 times. You have to go back on the field again and got that many stops. It just shows you how multifaceted this team is. They're so talented on so many different levels. And it just starts with Dan Quinn, man. And that was my question at the beginning of the season. I think it was you and I, both of our questions. It's like, how is this team going to do with the pressure? Now we expect them to be good. How are they going to handle that? Are they going to, do well, or are they going to fold under the pressure? And thus far, it looks like they're doing well. Like they deserve all the praise from everyone in the offseason and all the preseason rankings. And right now, it looks like they're the best team in the NFC by far. And to do that on the road, like in a really hard environment to play in, just shout out to them. Shout out to their kicker who was in the UFL last year, just making 250-plus yard bombs at the end in the fourth quarter, and then one to tie and one to win the game.
Yep.
It's a really strong team, and it just starts with Dan Campbell. I think I said Dan Quinn earlier, but Dan Campbell. He's such a good coach. I love that guy. So shout out to them.
Honestly, this Lions team reminds me of a team that we just discussed, the Eagles, a few years back when they won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Like everybody talks about how great Nick Foles was. Oh, Nick Foles. The reality situation was he had two of the best backs in the game at the time, LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi. That is why they were so successful. And I think the Lions have the ability to do the same thing. By the way, the quarterbacks who have thrown 5+ interceptions in a game are 8 and 117 since 1970. So Jared Goff joined.
So there's 8 wins.
He joined Matt Ryan, Tony Romo, Mark Ripon, Wade Willis, John Elway, Dan Fouts, Joe Ferguson, and Johnny Unitas. So there you go.
Some good names in there.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of surprising. Those are the guys who have won games. Their teams rallied around them. Good for them. But again, this is big. And I will say this too. Look, Jared Goff, if this is in the realm of possibilities, Lions, you're in trouble. Rest you're going to play teams. We're going to be better than this. You're not going to turn the ball over, but good for you. And again, if I'm the Lions, build that team around Sonic and Knuckles. That's the move. Those two guys are killing it. I love it. I love to see it. But who's the biggest winner of the teams? Like, who else do you want to talk about, Big Z? I mean, these are some big wins, dude. Big wins.
I think the Steelers. I know we just talked about the Commanders, but the Steelers going on the road and beating them. We talked about Mike Williams last week, how big of a pickup that was.
Yep.
He's the guy they went to win the game. Like he is the guy that Russell Wilson just threw the ball up to on third down, and he got him a touchdown because he's a very short-handed receiver, big body, and he sealed the deal for them. We keep talking about them. Like at the beginning of the year, people were really high on them, and we didn't really know why because of the Justin Fields thing. I think Russell Wilson has just really helped them just grow into a whole other level as a team offensively.
Absolutely.
They have over 100 more yards a game, 10 points more per game as when he's started compared to Justin Fields. He's just helping this offense go up and down the field. No problem. He looks like the old Russell Wilson. There's no pressure on him. I'm really happy for him because he had a lot of hate in Denver. A lot of it really wasn't. Some of it was like the first year, but last year he had a pretty decent season and no one gave him credit for it. And so now he's actually doing the thing. Mike Tomlin believes in him and his teammates believe in him. And I think this team's it's a threat, to go make a deep playoff run for sure. Big win for them.
The Steelers unquestionably have to be the winner here. This guy, I mean, Russ, dude, his deep ball looks fantastic.
Right.
Pickens' ability to adjust to it. Now he's got another big body receiver, Mike Williams. If he can just throw it up to these guys, you're in a lot of trouble. Najee and Jalen Warren, he's got the dual threat backfield. Their
Yeah.
defense looks fantastic. Again, this was a game the Commanders probably should win. They got to
Yeah.
find a way if you're
Right.
looking to win your division, and they didn't. The Steelers, on the other hand, did take their division by the horns. I love to see it. Good job. Shout out to the Steelers. And again, I am super happy. Nobody's happier for Russ than I am. Last year, it took a lot of mess. Like you said, Biggsy, we sat here and we're like, dude, he's really not doing that bad.
He's not. He wasn't. Yeah, I
He
don't
looked
know.
fine. Like
Yeah.
they were winning big games. And I mean, again, Mike Tomlin, man, you got to give this guy his flowers. Bro, we're
You
talking
have to.
Steel Magnolias. Throw some. I mean, come on, dude. I mean,
Right.
geez, this guy, everybody thinks Justin Fields doing great. 4-0 start or whatever it was. How could you possibly sit this kid? And there he goes, sits him like, oof,
And it was his call. Like he was like, I did it myself. I didn't talk to anyone. Like I made this call myself. Like that's what a head coach is supposed to do. Like
right.
again, this is one of the best head coaches in the history of the NFL ever. Like
Right.
especially in a day and age where we're just playing musical chairs with coaches all the time.
Right.
This guy has stayed the head coach for this team for over a decade. He is so well respected every single year. There's always a players poll talking about who's the guy you want to be play for. And it's always Mike Tomlin. He's always the top of the list. It's him, Shanahan, and McVay and Andy Reid. Like people love Mike Tomlin. And so give him flowers. We love him. Again, I'll say it again. I wish he was a coach of the 49ers. I think that, he could really help out. But yeah.
I was impressive. I didn't want to look it up because it was like Steel Magnolias. I know it's a movie, and I didn't know much about the movie. I think I've seen it one time, but I looked up the definition just to know Big Z because literally I just said that.
Sure.
Came out, shot out of my mouth. I just wanted a good pun. Here's the thing, but you're not Steelers fans. You're not gonna like the beginning, but bear with me, hang with me. The term Steel Magnolia is used to describe a woman who has feminine and has uncommon fortitude. That last part, uncommon fortitude. That is the Steelers team. You look at this team. They shouldn't, on paper, they shouldn't be nearly as good as they are, but they are that good, right? No one should. This is a team that you could foresee if they play a team like the Lions or they play a very high-powered, high-potent offense. I think this team has the capability of make it dirty. You know, no, we're gonna play the high scoring. No. You're gonna get into the mud with us. You're gonna get dirty. And by the way, if you do score on us like the Commanders did, we can score too.
Right.
We can throw it deep too. So whichever way you want to go, we got the fortitude to match it. I love it. Good for you. Special shout out to the Cardinals, top of the division. Who saw that coming? Another team that shouldn't be as good as they are, but they are. And the Niners and the Rams, they're slowly chasing you down. The Rams lost a game they for sure should have won, but the Niners
that was
are rolling.
a big loss.
Yeah, it was a huge loss. That hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt. I'm not going to lie, that hurt. Big loser. Speaking of, I didn't include the Rams only because they're still they've been 500 this whole season. Like I can't pretend that they are competitors until they show me that they are in that echelon. And I know they were injured, but again, there was a couple games in there, like when they played the Bears, even though they were injured, it's like you got to find a way to win that game, right? So until they show me that, I'm not considering them a big loser yet. But some teams that are, here we go. The Vikings won, Big Z, but they still literally they are the reason that I keep calling this question. The actual what I put by this section is losers ? Like the Vikings are that team. They keep winning, but they are looking less and less impressive every week.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold has kind of come down to earth. Like, again, he had another, multi-pick game, no touchdowns, just winning because of their field goal kicker. Great defense. Like, Brian Flores has that defense playing great for him. But yeah, they definitely look beatable. I remember they started 5-0, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, it's them. They're the team to beat in the league." But yeah, they just don't look as formidable as they did. Shouts to them, they're winning. But I want to be scared to face them. If they end up with the number 1 seed or number 2 seed, I want to be scared to face them in the playoffs.
Honestly, if you're a wild card team and the way this team is playing right now, and you got to go to Minnesota and play them in the first round, you're sweet. I think you're hyped. Yeah. I think you're excited about it. I think if you avoid a team like the Lions or like the Eagles, you're sweet. This works. This is
Right.
cool. Another big loser. Look, the Bears, we told you. We told you at the start of the season, and we warned you about this game, Big Z. We sat here, we
We
warned our
said
fans about this game.
we said
Like this is
we
like
took the
this,
Patriots to win.
this is like that team. You know, as your kid joins sports, as Oliver joins sports, you're gonna find out like there's one team that they could be terrible, but they
Right.
have your number. Like they play well against you. They get fired up. Your kids are friends at school. It's like, like why do you play us so tough? You don't play anyone else tough. And we told you, the Patriots, you just felt it. They lost a close game right off an ugly Drake May interception the week before to the Jets.
Right.
Right. They were driving down, they were in that game. And I was like, look, they are riding that momentum. They have something in Drake May. They like the way Ramondre is looking. They like the way their receivers are looking. Bears, do not be complacent in this game. You need to have a very strong game plan. The Patriots go in there and they win. And now the Bears, we said it last week, they're facing down the barrel, Big Z. I mean, the teams are going to play. Ooh, Big Z.
I think they have like the toughest strength of schedule remaining.
They have to.
in the whole
They
league.
have to.
Like they fired their offensive coordinator. Like he's a problem. Like I think it starts with Matt Eberflus. We talked about it. He just doesn't really have a grasp on what's going on with the team, what Caleb Williams actually needs. I mean, there was actually talk of them benching him, not because he's terrible and like, he's not going to be good, but to give him a break. But it's like, what are we in? Like, what culture are we in? Like, that's such a soft move if they were to do that. Like, you need to coach him through this. Like, this is the number one pick. He's talented. Like, he has the talent to overcome this, but I don't think he has the coach to coach him through it.
Right.
And the fact that those conversations were actually entertained is just beyond me. And it's just a sign that you need to do a reset with the coaching staff. They just look lost, totally lost on offense. Caleb Williams got sacked 9 times by the Patriots. The Patriots are one of the worst defensive teams in the league going into this game.
You
and got sacked 9 times.
You wish you could put it all on the offensive line. Like you wish that. Like you wish.
Yeah.
A few of them were. I'm not gonna lie. A few of them were.
Yeah, but he held the ball way too long.
Yeah, you cannot hold the ball.
Like this is called, like he looked like he did at USC, holding the ball. I'm
trying to make something happen. I'm
gonna find a guy. But again, like this is like you talked about. You said this months ago. There is no excuses for him if they miss the playoffs. He has so many weapons around him, and they look worse than they did last year on offense with Justin Fields and way less weapons. They have no effort. DJ Moore looks like he doesn't want to be there.
Nope.
It looked terrible, and they were at home.
What has me the most concerned, hands down, about this Bears team? I just want to say this: Sports Illustrated came out with a story a day ago that a few, not one, but a few of the Bears veterans wanted to bench Caleb Williams before the OC was fired. Okay, if that's true, I don't know if that's verified. I mean, Sports Illustrated seems like a reputable source. It was also commented by Heavy.m, Fox, Yard Barker. Like there's a bunch of people with this. There's a bunch of people with the same story. If it's true for veterans to be the ones, not the head coach coming out and saying like, "Hey, we got to bench this dude," veterans, and that this story got out, right? So A, I agree with you. It's an indictment on the head coach, the fact that this story did get out, right? But B, that is a horrible look. And if these veterans are going to turn on their rookie quarterback, you're in trouble. And we warned you about Caleb before the season. We talked about what we saw at USC, him blaming, the way he responded to losses, the way he looked dejected at times, even when they were in games. It was not his fault, right? We're seeing the same thing with Aaron Rodgers right now. It's never Aaron Rodgers' fault. Look, I'm not saying Caleb is there because he's just a rookie. He's got plenty of time. And I agree with you, Big Z. I think you got to ride with him. I don't think you can bench him. He was the first overall pick. You can't bench him. But I am concerned. And if you're a Bears fan, there's a piece of you that should be concerned. You should be slightly worried that these stories are coming out and that they look like this. You're in trouble. And by the way, BZ, you are 100% right. According to the NFL Tankathon, Chicago Bears have the hardest strength of schedule left. 2 against the Lions, 2 against the Vikings, 2 against Green Bay, 1 against their Niners, and their easiest opponent, according to this website, is the Seahawks, who are still very much battling, have a whole lot of talent. If you're a Bears fan, strap in, baby, because it's not going to get prettier. The other team, it's not going to get prettier for the Cowboys. Listen to me, Big Z. The cattle are running free. The
Oh,
houses, the horses are out of the stable. Okay. They're out of the stable. All right. John Dutton just missed the whole new season, Big Z. Spoiler alert to all the fans looking. All right. The Cowboys, it's all going downhill. Beth is running out. She's trying to rip. It's all full. It's everything going wrong. Everything for the Cowboys is going wrong, Big Z.
they're blaming the sun getting their eyes in the stadium because Jerry Jones built it the wrong way. It's come to that. It's looking ugly, man. I
It
mean,
looks real bad.
I mean, we didn't think it'd be this bad. Like we
No,
we, we thought
no.
they'd compete like to beat the tops of the division, maybe a wild card spot.
I mean, we
But
made fun of Jason for like thinking that they were at any point this season a lock to make the playoffs. But when we said they weren't a lock to make the playoffs, we were thinking like, they could really finish in like fifth place, like or whatever. They could finish like one spot out, right? Like it
right,
wasn't, it
yeah, like
wasn't
maybe it's like yeah, maybe 9 wins, 10 wins
right.
best, but like they'll be there. But yeah, they may not make the playoffs. But it wasn't like this. Like CeeDee Lamb looks like a normal average receiver.
Yep.
Like they even put Trey Lance in there to like try to give him a spark. His second pass is just a terrible interception. Just like again, why the Niners let him go. Like they have nothing. They have nothing going for them. And then today they go Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle is our guy. Like there's no more committee. He's going to run wild. He is our running back for the rest of the season. It's like they're just trying to put positive stuff out into the press to make people believe in them. It's like they're trying to sell those tickets. But do you believe in Rico Dowdle as your lead back? I don't. I don't.
No,
I'm not
come
impressed by
on.
that.
He
It's
is exactly what he was. He is a good committee running back. He is a great
right.
1-2 punch. Najee needs Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren needs Najee, right? Like he is one of those guys that I think he would thrive. Eckler needs Brian Robinson Jr. I
Yep.
don't know if Brian Robinson Jr. needs Eckler. I don't think he does, but Eckler needs Brian Robinson Jr.
Right.
Dowdle is one of those who Dowdle needs a dude. He needs a
It's
dude next to him.
it's sad. It's really sad, man. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like I think Jerry Jones needs to look in the mirror and like he needs to fire himself as GM. He has to.
He
Like
has
at
to.
this point,
He
like you
has to.
built you built nothing around your star players. Like there is no roster building there. And now you're on the hook for $90 million for Dak next year. And he's coming off a hamstring surgery. Like, this is not good. It is not a good look. You're in a bad predicament for the
You're in
Cowboys.
a horrible predicament. You don't have anything going for you right now.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be really bad. Your biggest hope is next year that you get Ashton Genty. I mean it. I mean it wholeheartedly. Just chalk it up. Try to go get that kid. He wants to play for you, and he looks like an absolute stud
Yep.
playing over there for Boise. Big games coming up next week. Ravens, Steelers, Broncos, Falcons, Chiefs, Bills, Hawks, Niners. Who's the biggest, Big Z? Which game are you looking forward to the most?
We're going to have to go back to the Steelers again. I think Baltimore at Pittsburgh. I
Yep.
think like it's a divisional game. They're both tops in the division. Mike Tomlin putting out some bulletin board material this week, talking about how they're not even game planning for Deontay Johnson. Like there's a lot more pieces that they have to game plan for before they even look at him.
What a savage. What a
I
savage,
know,
dude.
but hilarious, but hilarious. I think this is a good test. This is a good test for Russell. Like, okay, now, okay, you've got some wins under your belt. You look good. You're at home, but like now the Ravens are coming into town. But historically, Lamar Jackson's really struggled against the Steelers.
And not the kind of test of like, we already know the Steelers are a good team.
Yeah.
We know that's not the test we're saying. What we're saying is now at this point, that win against the Manders, that's what it said to me. The win against the Manders showed me that the Steelers are, in fact, for sure a playoff team. Lock it up.
Yes.
They're in the playoffs. Unless something goes horrifically wrong, they are 100% in the playoffs. This win, if they beat the Ravens, to me, all of a
It's a
sudden
deep
now we're
playoff
talking
run.
about
Yeah. Conference championship.
we could
Yeah.
see this team in the Super Bowl. They have something real special cooking, and Russell Wilson has been there before. And you got a
Yep.
general who's done it in the biggest moments, and all he wants to do is forget all about the fact that he should have handed the ball to Marshawn Lynch to beat the GOAT.
Yep.
He wants to say goodnight to all that. He'd love
He
another ring,
does.
Big Z.
He does. Yeah, he does, man. And he wants to prove everyone wrong as well. All those haters from last year, all the haters from the past few years in Denver, Pete Carroll, all of them. That's my biggest game. I think there's there's so many different storylines that you can talk about. For sure. Definitely 10 a.m. game early.
Yep.
Definitely gonna enjoy it.
My biggest game is the Chiefs and the Bills. Josh, you got to do it.
It's a big game.
You got to do it for America. All right. This
Please.
team, it's been going on too long. They've been escaping. They've been winning somehow. Josh, listen to me. Look in my eyes, Josh. Look at me. America believes in you. Okay. You got this. Take them down.
I mean, they won last week by a blocked field goal. They were going to lose the game, and they blocked the field goal. I just this team gets all the breaks.
Did you see the video on? There's like video circulating of like the left side of the Broncos line.
Oh yeah, every time.
Just selling every field goal kick.
Oh, like, I know, it's terrible.
Somebody was eventually going to take advantage of you guys on this. Like,
but see that's how good the Chiefs are, though.
Yeah,
like, they have the three facets of the game: special teams, defense, and offense down, because their coaches are on top of it. Like they knew we're going to go extra on that left hand side, and we're going to block this kick because their freaking left tackle or whoever it is cannot freaking hold a block. And look, it freaking paid off for them. They're so good. It's so annoying. I want them to lose so badly. Please do it. Please do it, Alan.
So annoying. Big Z, speaking of calling your shots, speaking of the big three parts of the game, your coach Z, you're the big dog. Who's your guy of the week, man? Who you look at? Who's your hopeful dude of the week in fantasy football? Who should the people start without question, Big Z?
Deebo Samuel. I'm going with a Niner again, but it's because he's playing the Seahawks, and he owns the Seahawks every time he plays them. He averages 160 yards. He has 7 touchdowns against them in his career. Last game, he had a 60-yard touchdown. He likes to play the Seahawks. It's a divisional game. He's at home. Brock loves to throw to him. He is the guy, him and Jennings. So I'm going with Deebo Samuel as my guy of the week.
That is your dude. My guy, which is going to seem a little bit ironic coming from me, but I really do think this guy's going to bounce back. And here's the thing. More than I think this guy's going to bounce back, I think that Dan Campbell is such a good coach that he is going to put the ball in this guy's hands. And I think Jared Goff is going to finish as one of the top quarterbacks this week in fantasy football. Again, even if the Lions are running all over, which is totally possible against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Even if that is the case, I still think Dan Campbell's going to go out of his way to get Jared Goff back in rhythm, get him a few tutties, get him going right. He knows he needs Jared Goff. I think this is a get-right game for him. I think he's going to have a huge game. Shout-outs to you, Jared. Keep balling. And Big Z, we got to do it. Who let you down last week? Who let you down this week, last week? Who let you down, Big Z?
Well, can I say, can I do both? Can I say who you shouldn't start this week? And then I'll say, let me down. 100%. So don't start Brian Thomas this week because they're playing the Lions, who's a great defense, and they don't have Trevor Lawrence. So do not start Brian Thomas Jr., though he is a stud. Do not start him. And who let me down last week? It was obviously Saquon Barkley. 14 carries, 66 yards. He just went off tonight, but last week he did not do good. He only had 8 points. He had 2 touchdowns taken away from him on the 1-yard line because of the tush push. And I lost a matchup because he only had 8 points. So it hurt me, but he redeemed himself this week. So I guess it is what it is. But we're talking about what happened last week.
It's fair. It's fair. Who let you down? Somebody just let me down. Terry McLaurin has made it almost impossible for you to win. In every league, freaking Terry, he only got targeted twice. It's not his fault. But 2 points really hurts to start my week.
Yes, it does.
When I need to win. I need to win so bad. My sit for this next week, he's a very popular guy. In fact, he's a top 5 running back. And I'm telling you right now, this is not going to be his week in PPR. He's going to be better than in half and standard, certainly. Alvin Kamara is not going to have a big week this week. He's playing the Browns, okay? The Browns do one thing and one thing well. They stop running backs. Go look at everybody they've played. That is the one thing certifiable they do. I'm telling you right now, if you have the stomach for it, or the ballers talk about they're stealing their pants, whatever it is, whatever you believe in. All right, Kamara's not having a big week. I'm just letting you know. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. I'm just telling you the truth. That's all I can do.
We were right last week. So
I called out the receiver from Pearsall. I called out a receiver from the Niners. His first touchdown of the week, people. Listen to us.
Listen to us.
Listen,
Listen, Brock
college.
Purdy.
Listen to some upsets. College football, man. Down goes the U. Down goes the Bulldogs. Indiana hangs on. BYU still hasn't beaten anybody big, but they hang on. I mean, college football is over all over the map, dude. And then they're releasing rankings.
Indiana, man. I love it. I was so happy. I mean, they barely won that game, but I'm so glad that they won that game. Yeah, I think the biggest thing to me is that BYU is number 6. Like
Yeah.
they have not beaten a ranked team. None of these teams are ranked. Oh, I guess Kansas
Yeah.
State. They beat 38-9. But other than that, man, like their schedule
So,
is so weak and they're
yeah.
6th in the nation. Like I just can't believe that. And then also Miami losing to Georgia Tech
That was
in
crazy.
I just man, Miami was like they were supposed to be the team of the ACC, and they looked so bad. Like they just had a bad week. They just had a bad week. I guess you can chop it up to that. But Georgia Tech is not a good school. Like they don't really have anything going for them in any sport. And so the fact that they had their undefeated season ruined by that team is pretty
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Oh,
That's why you love
it's
it. That's why I love college football, man. It's so fun. Like we talked about it last week. If you want to see offense, you go tune in on Saturday and you watch a lot of football. It's so fun. It's so fun to watch.
oh, it's an absolute blast, dude. It's an absolute blast. I mean, their big win before this was Florida State, but then we found out that Florida State's
Exactly.
not
Yeah.
extremely good. So,
Right.
this was a bad loss. This was not a good loss. And again, I mean, I couldn't agree more. Penn State, I'm sorry. Look, I'm BYU rather. I'm sorry. You can't tell me BYU's beating Bama or Notre Dame,
Oh,
Georgia.
Georgia,
Like
Oregon, like
put them at 12, right in front of the team they just beat, because the last ranking had Miami at number 12. Right.
right.
So they're gonna drop. I'm assuming. Well, no, that is their new ranking. I'm sorry, these are new because Miami is 9-1 now.
Right.
Put them right there. Boom, number 12.
There you
Right
go.
there.
Right
Right,
there.
right in that little bumper there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't like it. Oregon obviously still rolling. Big matchups this week. You got Tennessee versus Georgia. This is huge.
That
Georgia
is
again
huge.
is number 11. They cannot lose again. Tennessee could technically lose this game and still drop down like number 11 or 12. Georgia cannot lose this game if they want to make the playoffs. They got to find a way to win. And then Missouri and South Carolina, both those teams currently are on the outside looking in. You got South Carolina at number 23, Missouri at number 24, South Carolina 6-3, Mizzou at 7-2. Again, Mizzou with SE, I mean, it'll take a couple. They have a hard road left, but if they win out, they could conceivably see themselves back in the playoff hunt. So those two teams got to win. And keep in mind, by the way, Indiana, they still got Ohio State coming. So
Right.
there's going to be some movement up at that top, regardless if it is Ohio State, which I personally think they are going to win that game. They just look fantastic. Their only loss is to the number 1 team in the nation. And it was only because their quarterback forgot that the
Right.
clock exists. So,
Yeah.
Can
you answer me, why are there college football games on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights every week?
I
don't understand that.
know.
Every night, every Tuesday, I'm like watching like a late night at Sports Center. I see like a few scores, and I'm like, what? Like, why is there Tuesday night games? I don't understand it. It's so weird.
Yeah, people get excited. Like, oh, there's like earlier this year, right? There was like 49 straight days of football. And maybe we're like in the middle of that right now. And I'm like, that's not
I
exciting.
think we are, because there's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like there was one tonight.
Yeah.
East Carolina and Tulsa.
I think we're in it. But then for us, it was like Dodger baseball. So nothing else existed.
Exactly.
It didn't matter.
But it's weird. It's so weird to me.
Shout outs to everyone. Big Z, I mean, we did it. We did that pretty good time tonight, I think. I think we did well.
It was great. I'm still embarrassed. I didn't play the song correctly. It did on my end, but I guarantee you it's not going to show up in the editing room. I'm not going to edit it. I'm just going to go. We're just doing it.
Whatever.
Bum.
Whatever that was, that is the intro. And we're sitting here laughing about it. By the way, never forget that Big Z is more of a man than I'll ever be. And he took the Blue Jays and Yale to make it deeper in the tournament than UConn and UCLA. I'm getting a jersey, people. I'm very excited about it. This is Brevity Sports. We love you. Thank you so much for listening, so much for joining. We'll be at you next week. Enjoy football this weekend. All right. There's some big games. Enjoy it. Live it up.
Mm-hmm.
Best of luck in your fantasy.